Hello, Fabulous Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of July 2016, Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, in the context of love, we've got this very powerful full moon taking place mid-month that is going to speak right to the heart of you. It is happening in a part of the sky that has to do with romance, the feelings that love can provide, and it has to do with the aliveness that we can feel when we are with somebody that we have growing feelings for or we're particularly fond of, and even flirting as well is covered under this particular part of the sky. You add to this a new moon early in the month that is speaking to Pluto in this part of the sky, and we've got an interesting sky playing out that does suggest some powerful experiences in the context of love and attraction. And for some people out there, the kind of experiences that can leave you changed from the inside out. Very possibly meeting somebody who has the kind of impact on your life that speaks to your reality, speaks to how you see yourself and your lovability, possibly for the rest of your life. So there really is a certain consequentialness to the energy that is playing out. Now that doesn't necessarily mean, in all honesty, that doesn't necessarily mean that this is long-term energy, just powerful attractions, fated connections, kind of energy that is set to take place. Now this is an energy that you might be a little bit used to. It's just a high point in this because we have had Pluto moving through the same part of the sky for an extended period of time since late last decade, will right into the next decade as well. So this is an energy you've been good and used to. It's just that there are some moments that highlight and magnify this energy as is taking place this month, so that those lessons really start to hit home of how love can be something that is a transformative experience and a force for, on the one hand, elevating what you feel, and on the other hand, owning what it is that you feel. So let me break it down a little bit. If you're in an established bond, I want you to be a little mindful as you look at this sky, because as I look at this axis playing out, it does speak to friendships, speaking to influencing what's happening for you in the realm of love, especially early in the month. So you do want to watch that. If you're in an established bond, it can be that a friend in some way gets in the way, intentionally, unintentionally, regardless. But it is possible now that a friend maybe has a perspective, maybe has an opinion, maybe there's some gossip being relayed to you, and it is speaking to what is taking place for you in the realm of your relationship and love, and this person that you truly do love. And it's awakening your understanding of the love that you feel. Now, I want you to be a little mindful of this energy as well, because as I look at this, and again, I always want to be straightforward with you. As I look at this energy, it does suggest that it is possible that someone new enters the picture as a friend who in some way does not necessarily have the most positive influence on your relationship. So you want to keep that in mind. Allow people to show you who they are before you just welcome them in with open arms. It's okay to do that sometimes as well. You can feel what you feel. You can feel a genuineness from a person, but you also want to pace yourself a little bit. And look, I know that it can sound really serious. A lot depends on what's happening in your unique birth chart, and it might not be at all. It might be much lighter than it sounds on the surface. For example, early in the month, you might be invited somewhere to go out. You have somebody in your life very much fond of, that person joins you, and then you see that person, the person you love, talking to someone else at this social event, a friend of a friend, and neither of them realize that the dynamic, like maybe that person doesn't realize that they're flirting, or the other person thinks that this is a good friend of yours, so they're being nice, the person you love is being nice. Like all kinds of confusions can happen, okay? So I'm not saying that there's a deliberate quality to this, but it's really your emotions that matter, and your reactions that matter, and your ability to convey the importantness of this bond, of this person that you are with. And that ultimately, that vulnerability that may arise, right? And if I may just be blunt about this, there might be some jealousy in this as well. Ultimately, that's about you. And that's about your feeling of security, your feelings of worthiness. It really is an individual situation, but it can be that kind of thing that actually ends up propelling you towards this person that much more, this person that you love that much more. So it doesn't mean that it has to be a bad thing. In fact, it might actually end up being something that you laugh about for a long time to come. But just keep that in mind, you know, like if your intuition starts going a little bit, that's telling you something about how important your relationship is and your desire to protect it and nurture it. And that's valuable. That's valuable to know for you to realize how much this person that you are with matters to you. As we move towards the middle of the month and we have this super romantic part of the sky lighting up with this full moon. Now that full moon is speaking with Uranus. And there's a surprise element, there's a changeable element to this. Now this is going to be some truth coming to the surface. What otherwise might have been hidden. Now here's the thing though. It is secrets that you know, okay? So that's what you want to keep in mind with this. It's secrets that you know that have the potential to come forward. So it may be one of your own stuff, right? One of your otherwise private things that sort of comes forward. Ultimately, it ends up feeling empowering to you. Having said that, my advice would be when I look at a sky like this, unless it really feels imperative and really feels necessary, and you know, I'm very much of the belief, and when I look at the sky and I look at the fact that we've got in the sky a part of the sky that has to do with secrets you keep consciously, there are some secrets that are not unhealthy. There are some secrets that are okay for you to hold dear, whether it's because something is precious to you and you want to keep it close, whether you don't identify anymore. You did your work, right? You did your work, you had your therapy, you did your tears, you no longer identify with some part of your past, then why bring it into your present? So ultimately it's going to be about you deciding what sense you're going to make, but if something does come forward, it comes forward, and that means it's meant to, and that ultimately can be part of what ends up bringing you and allowing you to feel that much closer with the person that you are with. So keep that in mind. It may also be something, now interestingly, it may be some secret that you've known about your partner that your partner doesn't know that you know, that is in some way confirmed or in some way comes forward. Again, how you want to deal with it, how you want to move forward it, completely up to you and in terms of whatever feels right to you. Now, those of you open to meeting someone new, this sky is particularly interesting for you as well. And it really is going to be that full moon that's that much more emphasized, but that new moon early in the month as well. I would really advise you, again, be mindful of, like if you are liking somebody and you're flirting with somebody, be mindful of friends around you and what may be happening. Also be mindful of, like if you're in a social situation or in some group that you may belong to or be active in, if it feels like something is happening romantically, how do you feel about it? Does it feel right to you or not? Be mindful of any power dynamics or any kind of power games that might be playing out there as well. You want to stay conscious of that. As we move towards the middle of the month and this romantic part of your sky is lit up, I do think that you may not even realize who you're flirting with. It could happen. And it could be that you meet somebody and things go really, really well at first, right? And then slowly you start to realize certain things, or you start to feel like, oh my God, I don't think this person is being very honest. So you want to trust that as well. But I have a feeling as I look at the sky that you might end up flirting with somebody and then come to realize that there's this whole other part of them, or there was some part of them that they weren't being completely honest about. And if you listen to your own intuition, you kind of would have known anyway. So just be mindful of the choices you're making, the decisions you're making. Again, it's all just experience. And some of those decisions may actually be the kind that you cherish. Some of those choices may be the kind that you cherish, meaning that those very choices might be the thing that facilitates a moment of awareness and a moment of transformation for you that you can end up being truly grateful for. Now, it is possible that you meet somebody and have a very strong attraction to them right around either of these, okay? my advice would be, as I look at this, let it be about the moment. Let the moment be what it needs to be, rather than having too much expectations about the future and what it could be. Because ultimately, with this kind of energy, it is the moment that is saying something to you about what is ready to change, what is ready to be brought to consciousness for you, and the kind of energy within yourself that you are ready to connect with. What I love about this month for you is that love is very much on the surface, and love is a driving force now for self-honesty and really a metamorphosis where you, the best of you, the brightest of you, is able to bloom forward thanks to the experiences that only love can provide. Head over to my website right now to get early access to the Jupiter Special Horoscopes. In the month of September, Jupiter will change signs, will move into the sign of Libra. This is so exciting, as all of us in some way are going to notice our blessings shift and feel ourselves getting more hopeful and getting more opportunity in a very practical kind of way in a new area of life. So based on your sun sign, based on your moon sign, your rising sign, Jupiter will bless your life in new ways. So to find out how and to get an early look into how, head on to my website, nadiyashah.com. And of course, those horoscopes will be available on YouTube to the public on YouTube in the month of September. But if you want an early look, visit my website, and I look forward to seeing you there. It'll be great. This move of Jupiter into Libra will be great. Enjoy.